So you think you know how Etsy tags work? Let's put that to the test. Today we're looking at the biggest tag myths I hear Etsy sellers repeating. A few of them might surprise you. There's no shortage of advice about Etsy tags, but not all of it's right, and some of it has changed over the years. Let's separate the myths from Etsy's current best practices so you can make better decisions for your own shop. Let's dig in. Myth 1. You should never split a long tail keyword across multiple tags. Imagine you're selling a bronze and opal steampunk engagement ring. That's much longer than Etsy's 20 character limit, so it won't fit into a single tag. A lot of sellers assume that means they can't target that keyword, but fortunately that's not the case. Etsy's current best practice is to split longer keywords into natural phrases that shoppers might actually search for. So instead of trying to split the phrase wherever the 20 character limit falls, you might want to use something like opal engagement ring, then bronze steampunk ring, rather than bronze and opal steam, then punk engagement ring. Both examples contain the same words. The difference is that the first example contains phrases that make sense on their own and could genuinely be searched for. The second doesn't. So if you do need to split a longer keyword across multiple tags, try and split it into meaningful phrases, not just chunks of 20 characters. Myth 2. Never repeat words in your tags. Imagine you have these two tags, engagement ring and opal engagement ring. Etsy's current best practice says you don't need both. That's because the phrase engagement ring is already contained within the phrase opal engagement ring. So instead of using both tags, you could use that space to tell Etsy something else about your listing. Maybe it's a personalized gift or steampunk jewelry. The same idea applies to your attributes. If you've already selected ring as your category or attribute, you don't usually need to add a tag that's simply ring as well. Remember our simple principle. Every tag should earn its place by telling Etsy something about your listing. If a tag isn't helping Etsy understand your listing any better, ask yourself whether that space could be used more effectively. Myth number 3. One-word tags are always bad. One-word tags aren't automatically bad. The question is whether they're making the best use of the space that you have. For example, a tag like ring doesn't tell Etsy very much. A tag like opal engagement ring, that's much more descriptive. So in most cases, a phrase is a better use of your tag. But there are exceptions. If a single word is a long word that won't naturally fit with anything else, then a one-word tag can make sense. Just ask yourself, could this tag be working harder? If the answer is yes, it's probably worth replacing with a more descriptive phrase. Myth 4. You don't need to use all 13 tags. Technically, this one's true. Etsy doesn't penalize your listings for using fewer than 13 tags, but every empty tag is a missed opportunity. It's another chance to tell Etsy something about your listing and another opportunity to match a shopper's search. That doesn't mean you should fill your tags with irrelevant keywords just to reach the 13. If you genuinely can't think of another relevant tag, it's better to leave it blank than use something that doesn't accurately describe your item. But most of the time, you'll find there are more ways to describe your listing than you realized. So if you can use all 13 tags with relevant keywords, you should. Myth number 5, more tags are always better. It can be tempting to squeeze in every keyword you think of, but more isn't always better. Imagine if you're selling a personalized necklace. If you start adding tags like flower dress, wedding shoes, or cat mug just because they're popular searches, you're really not helping your listing. Those tags don't describe what you're selling. At best, they're taking up space that could be used for a relevant keyword, but at worst, they're sending mixed messages about what your listing actually is. As Etsy continues to use large language models to better understand listings, it's becoming even more important that your tags accurately describe your item. The clearer and more consistent your tags are, the easier it is for Etsy to understand what you're selling and who might be interested in it. So don't ask yourself, what keywords can I fit? Ask yourself, What keywords genuinely describe my listing? Etsy tags don't need to be complicated. Most of the advice you've heard does have a grain of truth, but understanding why Etsy recommends something is much more valuable than memorizing a list of rules. Keep your tags relevant, descriptive, and make every tag earn its place. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.